Well, good afternoon. This is Tim with C&D Farm, and as you can see behind me, we've got a pan. So what does that mean? We have got construction started on the farm already. So that means we're going to have a driveway soon. It won't be long. We'll be talking to our builders. So come and join us as we talk about our driveway and why we chose gravel over pavement. Again, this is Tim with C&D Farms, and as you can see behind me, we've actually got some construction started on the homestead. So the first thing we've got to build to get into our homestead is this driveway right here. As you can see, I got a pretty long driveway. It's going to be about 1,600 to 1,800 feet long. And that'll kind of answer that first question that was brought up in the opening statement, is why we're going with gravel. I've got this right here is going to have a pretty substantial cost for a driveway, but if we went with asphalt or pavement, it would be a whole lot more, and that'll take away from stuff that we want to do on the farm. But as you can see, hope you can see pretty good through the video, is the driveway is pretty flat. We do have a little bit of a rolling hill, but as you can see, they're putting in some small ditch lines, and we'll kind of get through that in some later videos. But one thing that I wanted to kind of point out is that we do have construction started on the homestead finally. Finally, you'll be able to see something instead of just me sitting here talking. You'll actually see something in the background, some progress being made. I know for me, it is a long time coming. So anyway, I'm gonna kind of walk through the walk down the driveway a little bit, and we'll kind of do a little bit of footage, and I'll also throw in a little bit of footage that I got the other day when I come out here and they first started. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a lot because the wind was blowing so hard. I tried to do a video, but the audio was just awful. So come back out here today. This is an off day for them, Sunday afternoon, and tried to get just kind of show you what we've got, show you some of the equipment. I mean, look at this equipment. You know, this is telling you that it's a pretty substantial driveway. I mean, that's a paddle pan right there. And then over there's a big excavator, and we'll kind of walk on up here a little bit closer and see some other stuff. So one of the things to make a good driveway that I think is very important is having a good base and being able to pack it, and also being able to shape it well. So the two things that I just showed you there were for stripping the topsoil off. That's what a paddle pan is good for. It kind of helps load the dirt. But this piece of equipment right here, all right, that's a roller drum. That's going to be able to pack this driveway, pack my base down good, and that way will hopefully prevent some erosion in the future. Gravel driveway, we're always going to have maintenance on the farm. That's just going to be part of it. Excuse me. And I know that, but if we start with a good base, if we start off right, then that maintenance will be held to a minimum, and that's the key. And that's one reason why this is something that I chose not to do on my own. I've got equipment, I can get equipment, I may even could have borrowed some equipment, but this is why I chose to go ahead and pay the money and have somebody professional to do this job. And they bring out this type of equipment. I'm gonna have a great big paddle pan taking all this topsoil off, excavator making sure cutting in some of the ditches that need to be cut in, and for water, to move the water away from the road. That's the key. The faster that water gets to going, the more erosion it's going to cause. And that's what this roller, when we do have a packed driveway, will help with. The other piece of equipment, we're going to walk up here and look, and I think this is the key piece of equipment to make sure that we've got a crown in our road, to make sure that the center has got a crown, to help with that water. And there's a pan behind us, but this piece of equipment right here is a motor grader. And you know, this is what they use to build our major roads with, and this is how we get that crown in the road. Now we can do it with tractors, we can do it with road blades, we can do it with, you know, a lot of different equipment, and some people are very good at it. Me, not so much. I can play with it and I can spend a lot of time, but the gentleman that's running this knows how to run it. He's been running it for years, and he's able to put that crown in that road to prevent erosion. So that's kind of the key things, that the reason why I chose to hire this company to do it. And for people that may be local from around here, Hames Brothers Construction is who I chose. Chuck Hames is a good friend of mine, and he come out, looked at the job. He also was able to kind of give me the advice, best advice on what to do and where to put the drainage ditches. So, and that's key. Remember, we're always going to have, and we're going to walk down here, we're always going to have maintenance on a gravel driveway. You're going to have maintenance with any driveway. I don't care if it's pavement, you're going to have to seal it every so often. If you have concrete, you're going to have to make sure that you deal with any cracks or water. Excuse me. So any driveway you have, you're going to expect maintenance on it. And if you think you're going to have a maintenance-free driveway, at some point you're going to have to do something to it. That's just the way it is. But with a gravel driveway, I will admit that if you don't start off correctly, and you don't start off with a good base and a good crown, proper ditches, and proper points where the water can go under the driveway, you're going to have a whole lot more maintenance. And again, that's why I chose some professionals to come in that build roads on a daily basis to be able to put this in. So, and this is kind of where I'm gonna kind of show some footage here, some film. You can kind of see where the ditch line, they're starting to cut it in. It may be hard to see on this camera, and I'm sorry for that. But then on the upper side, so on this side right here where I got my finger, it's going to be a ditch line. All right, that's going to get the water coming from the downhill side, or the uphill side, excuse me. Well, periodically in this low point, he's going to put a pipe that'll go under. So then we will be able to take that water to keep it from going at such a long distance, building up volume, building up speed, because when we build up speed, we're going to cause erosion. And when we build up volume, the ditch is not going to be able to take it, so then it's going to come out into the road. All right, at that point, that's when we start eroding the gravel that we have on the top. So again, having somebody to do that for you is invaluable to me. Plus, you know, for me, I'm still have a full-time job, so it's kind of difficult for me to be able to do this much work right here. And then I would have to rent some equipment, because having the right equipment is the key. You can do it with tractors, and there's people out there, I tell you, there's people out there that are amazing with them. But if you're not, that's where you need to hire somebody. And that's kind of what we've done with this. And I think the money that I'm going to spend in this, and I'll go over maybe the cost more in another video, the money I'm going to spend in this will more than pay for itself in future. This will allow me to spend time on my other projects, and it'll also not take away, if I'm always constantly replacing gravel and constantly working on this because it wasn't put in correctly the first time, then that takes away from the rest of the homestead. So yes, I did spend a lot of money. I'm going to spend a lot of money on this driveway, trying to get it right, even though it's gravel. I think that money will be well spent. And plus it adds to the value of the property. So that's another key thing. So one of the things that I also wanted to show you on the farm that came in this week. So this week's been a busy week. We've got the road started, and we've also got our first building on the homestead, and we're going to go look at that right now. So we're going to fade in, and then I'll come right back in and show you the building, and then that'll end this week's video. So stay tuned and we'll see the building next. Well, welcome back. Here it is, our first building on the homestead, and it came from us from Sheds Direct. We've got some wanted to put a shed out here mainly for storing some stuff in. We've got some stuff that we took out of our old house that was on my mother's place. We had a building there that had some stuff, and right now it's in a trailer, and I just really don't have a place to put it. So we got this shed right here, and we put it on the property, and we're going to kind of use it to put that stuff so it'll free up my trailer, and also it'll allow us to store some stuff on the homestead while we are doing the construction. So and be able to lock it up, keep it dry. That's kind of the main thing. So I'm kind of paying back right here. I don't see them right now, but one thing about being on the homestead and this property that I've noticed is I have got an abundance of turkeys. I've been down here pretty much every day this week in the afternoon after work, just checking to see what the construction process was, and just about every day, and today was no exception. When I pulled up, I tried to get the camera out and film them, because right down through that little section right there has been 4 or 5 turkeys. And when I pulled up this time, one of the gobblers was all blowed up, and he was walking around strutting his stuff. So I may get back into turkey hunting. I've never really been a turkey hunter, but you know, and that sound, you know, for some folks it says, why would you want to shoot the turkeys? But I also believe in wildlife management, and I think that's a key part to make it keep your wildlife plentiful on your homestead. So, but back to the building. Here's just kind of a view of the building. Kind of show you right here. It's a 12 by 24 building, and it's pretty just open. There's nothing inside really. And to just give you a little bit of what I'm going to do with this building, everything we do on the homestead's got purpose. And I bought this building knowing what I'm going to do with it once we build our house. Once we build our house, this building will go in the very backyard, and it will store some of our patio furniture that we may have. It also may be the building that we store our garden tools, because where the gardens are going to be real close to this, and it may even be a greenhouse. Well, I plan on having a greenhouse right beside it on the back side of it. So everything has a purpose, and so that's why I'm planning. You know, I have been planning for this homestead, drawing and redrawing and thinking on different ways to do everything with it. So that's all part of this process, and this was our first building. And so stay tuned for more to come on the homestead. I know it's going to kind of speed up. I'll give you the finished product on the driveway, and I know after that it'll probably slow down, because we're still in the planning, or the initial planning processes of what type of home we're going to have, whether it's going to be stick built, whether it's going to be a modular. You know, I really don't know right now. So for the family maybe watching, you know, stick with me. And for the people that are not family, thank you for subscribing to our channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And I'll also have descriptions in and I'll have links in the descriptions on this channel to some of the stuff that I use in the future. That's some of the things that I'm learning, is to do affiliate links and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put that in the descriptions, and also just other comments about what's going on the channel. So again, thank y'all for watching. I hope to have more and more content related to the homestead that may be interesting to some folks. So even reviews on some equipment that I've bought. So one of the things that you may or may not know that I have is I've got a massive Ferguson Charter right there that I bought last year, and I want to give a big thanks to a friend of mine. He kept it for me for almost a year on his property because this process has been really slow. So stick with us, subscribe, hit the like button, share the video if you want to, and maybe we will you can join me in this journey of building this homestead in South Central Virginia.